Okay, so we're gonna start with back and biceps, which is probably one of my favorite days. As always, we always start with a warm-up. For me, for upper body days, I usually like to use resistance bands to do shoulder dislocations. And then I was still a little sore from my previous workout, so I foam rolled a little, which helps open up my shoulders. I get all my materials, which is a plyo box for pull-ups. And then for me, for warming up, I usually like doing a few lighter sets to activate my muscles to get ready to tear them. So I started with a bar and did a few ups and then added 10s to each side. And then I added thighs. I did an overhand grip for about 10 to 12 bent over rows, and then I supersetted that with dead hangs. These help increase your grip strength and can help you progress towards a pull-up. So a superset is when you perform 2 exercises back to back, and if you're ever on a time crunch, supersets are the way to go. And they also increase muscle endurance. We're going to do another superset, underhand grip bent over rows, with another dead hang. For our third set, we'll be doing a single-handed bent over row, 3 or 4 sets of 10 on each side. And now time for Renegade Rows. Try not to swing left and right like I did. Pretend like you're balancing a glass of water on your lower back, and use your core to keep you stable. And now, time for these. I have no idea what they're called, but they're really fun. And then we're going to superset this with wide bicep curls. Okay, now we're going to do these medicine ball slam thingies, and then we're going to superset them again with these I don't know what they're called, ab hollow body, something, and I use a 5-pound plate to do them. We're going to start today with a few lighter sets of bench press, and then we're going to go a little bit heavier, but we want to make sure that we're keeping this in the strength range of reps. So 3 to 4 reps of 5 sets. We're gonna do another superset. There's a lot of supersets in my week of workouts because I'm usually on a time crunch, but we're gonna do 8 shoulder presses and try to push yourself on these. You want those really nice shoulders. And then we're gonna do 8 flies. And for the flies, make sure that your dumbbells are at a 45-degree angle. It protects your elbow. Okay, so now we're gonna do lateral raises. Okay, for these, you also wanna make sure that your elbow is a little bit bent. I bent my elbow so much. I didn't realize that until now, but you can bend it more and it's going to be easier to lift up the weight. The more you straighten it, the harder it's going to be to lift up the weight. And then we're going to superset that with single-handed Arnold presses, and these work all 3 of your delts in your shoulders, so you'll be very sore after this, promise. Now it's time for around the rows, and I promise you'll be humbled by these. I took a lighter on these because they're so hard to do, and I recommend bending your elbow just to make it a little bit easier, and your shoulders are already so dead, and we're just gonna completely liberate them. Okay, so now we're gonna do skull crushers. I forgot what these were called for a while, but they're called skull crushers because you're practically like crushing your skull, but of course your triceps are saving you from crushing your skull, and then we're gonna superset that with a close grip chest press, and this is also gonna work your tricep as well. Now we're gonna do alternate incline chest press, and these are great for working your upper chest, and we're gonna do 7 on each side, so 14 in total. And lastly, for the burnout, we're going to do 20 tricep extensions on each side. As always, for today, we're going to start with the warm-up with a few ladder sets. For our warm-up, we'll be doing hip openers, leg swings, these squat things I love, and then we'll be going into a few ladder sets of sumo deadlifts. And for today, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't feeling the best, and that's okay. Not every workout is going to be amazing, and sometimes you just have to show up for yourself. These days were one of those days. I used to expect every workout to be absolutely amazing, and that's just not the case. There are days I want to give up, choose a path of least resistance, and cave in. But the day you decide to show up for yourself are always the best days, because you know that you did something for yourself. So give yourself a gift by showing up for yourself. Not to prove something, not for her, not for him, not for them, but for you. Do it for yourself. Alright, second leg day of the week. Also, I wanted to mention that I put the 2 leg days and the 2 upper body days together to make it easier to navigate, but usually I would order them as hamstring and glutes, then move to push, then do quads and glutes, and finish off the week with pull. But it changes every week, and it's important to listen to your body and find what works for you. This is just my split, and I hope you guys were able to get some ideas. Now we're going to be doing hip thrusts, probably my favorite compound, but I have no idea why, but I used to be so scared to do them. Anyways, I have a few tips for you. So find a box that hits your mid-back, and then use your arms to hoist yourself up if the box is a little taller, but ideally you wouldn't have to hoist yourself up. I don't like doing that because it wastes a lot of energy. Then in terms of the hip thrust, make sure that your chin is tucked in to create a posterior tilt for maximum glute engagement and to protect your lower back. And make sure your feet are directly under your knees so it would be a perfect 90 when you're at the top of the movement. This way you're actually targeting your glutes. And then adding resistance bands adds a perfect amount of resistance, so by pushing your knees out, you're targeting your smaller glute muscles, your gluteus minimus and medius, that are worked by abduction.